Welcome back, my friends, to another episode. In this one, I'm going to try to swap out these LED brake lights for the ones that are in the S10, and they have a flashing feature to get more attention. Again, when I was reading the reviews for this, a lot of modern cars, the reviews were saying that they could either have the running lights or the brake lights. They couldn't have both with the LEDs, and that was because of there wasn't enough, they didn't offer enough resistance for them to work properly. I've already got the taillights ready to go, but I also noticed there are a couple other issues that I'm going to see about addressing while we're doing this. So, nothing and nothing yet. Alright, so just turning my running lights on. I've got a light on this side, but not one on that side. And then brake lights, that side works, and this side works. And then going to putting it in reverse, that side works, and that side works. So I'm going to see about the running light that's not working on the right side, the passenger side, and swap out the brake lights. Since they're two separate lights, it might be fine with the LEDs, but we'll see. Okay, so let me get to that. Something else I'm definitely going to do while I'm working on this is get these cleaned up, because there's a lot of dirt and grime and something built up on it. So I'm going to take some time, make sure all these are clean. I've already knocked as much dirt as I could, just knocking it out of here. I might get the air compressor and blow some more of it out. But just make sure everything's nice and clean before I start putting new stuff in. So this one has all this yellow stuff in there. It's almost like the consistency of Play-Doh. And I still have a little bit more that I could try to get out of there. And then on this side, all of that stuff, I assume it might have the same sort of buildup in it, because the bulb is actually coming out of the base. So I'm going to have to get some pliers after that to try to get that out after I break the bulb out of here. But I don't know if someone who did this last put some sort of grease in there and it turned into this like thick Play-Doh stuff, or like clay almost. Like, oops. And it's almost like dry Play-Doh. And there we go. Anyway, so I'm going to keep working on that, trying to clean that out. Okay, I got them cleaned out pretty well, and there's one thing that I noticed while cleaning them out. The indent on that side stops at a higher place than the one on this side. So then I was looking at the bases of the bulbs, and the little notch is lower on one side than it is the other. And the same thing is true for these newer LED ones. That one's lower than that one. So it really can only go in one direction. So if it doesn't work that way, I mean, you can always force it to go the other way. But anyway, I don't want to force it to go the wrong way and then I can't return the LEDs, just in case. So we'll try it the direction that it shows and see what happens. Alright, here we go. Brake. Alright, so here's the weird thing. I'm hitting the brake. It's not lighting up on this side, right? Okay. However, if I hit the brake it's working on that side. And then, if I put the running lights on, okay, so it's on that side. Brake, still working, okay. Running light, on. Brake, not working. Okay, so the one on the right is working both ways. This one over here, though, is only working as a running light, not as a brake. So let me flip it around and try to force it in the other way, reversing the polarity, and see what that gets me. So I reversed the polarity on the driver's side one, and it still, well, then it didn't work at all. So when it's put in the correct way, it only works as a running light. It does not have a brake, whether the running lights are on or not. So I came back here, and I took the housing apart to see if maybe I could switch some wires around and get it to work right. And all that yellow stuff is in the bottom of this, so I'm wondering maybe it just, you know, it came from the factory, but then it melted, or over time or something, it got into where the lamp is supposed to go. And I mean, I'm not going to bother with trying to replace it, because I don't think it's, you know, as long as there's not a physical connection, there shouldn't be a problem as far as the you know, the power jumping across or anything. But I'll try to get some of this cleaned out of here, see how the wiring is, see if I can like just unplug and replug and try to get it to the where maybe I can just switch these 3 wires around and get it to work for both running light and brake. So I got to thinking about it, and if I swap these two, then that's going to be just the same as me putting the bulb in reversed, in which case it did nothing. And then the only other option would be trying to swap this one with one of these two, but in order to do that, I would have to cut some wires and resplice them, which I don't want to do. At least not right now. But the LED works on the passenger side, but it does not work as a brake light on the driver's side. So I am going to assume it does come down to the whole resistance thing. Needs more, needs resistance in one of these lines to get it to change to the brake light, light up brighter and blink. So I'm going to, oh, and I did put a regular light in here, and it works both running light and braking. So it's not the socket, it's not the wiring, it's just the resistance to the LED. So I'm going to just put in some regular incandescent lamps for now and let that be it. And I'll hang on to the LEDs because I do like them, and it does work on the passenger side, until I can do a little bit more research to know which one of these I would need to add a resistor to in order to get it to work. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to go back and look at the wiring diagram and see what each one of these is, and then I would know what my next step would be. So let me get the some regular lights in here, and then I was thinking about swapping. I have some white LEDs in the front turn signals that are on the sides, and I was thinking about putting them back here for these lights, but I can't find the amber colored ones that I bought to put in the turn signals. I bought some amber colored LEDs that I was going to swap into the turn signals on the front, so I could move the white ones to the license plate lights, but I could either do that or put them in here. But since I can't find those amber LEDs at the moment, I'm just going to leave these empty for now, and I'm just gonna put the regular lamps back in here, put it all back together, make sure everything works, and call it a day as far as the lights are concerned. And then I don't know if I'll work on anything else or not, but I'll bring you back in a minute. So I noticed something interesting as I was going to put the LEDs back in the little holder. This is the LED that came out the driver's side that was working with the running lights but not the brakes. If I put it in the socket the same way as how it came out, and I hit the button, it only lights up. It doesn't flash, and it's dimmer. But if I put the one that was on the passenger side in here, and I hit the button without knocking everything over, it's brighter and it works. So it might not be... So before I put these away, I'm going to put the one from the passenger side and the driver's side, and the driver's side and the passenger side, and then if the driver's side works and not the passenger side, then I know it's this light right here. It's not the wiring, it's not the resistance, it's the actual light. So I have the one that was in the driver's side and the passenger side now. The running light works, but again, not the brake. And the one that was in the passenger side is now on the driver's side. Running light works, and the brake works. And if I cut the running lights off, it goes off. The other one went off. Again, the brake works on this side, but the brake is not working on that side. So it is the LED light itself. It's not the wiring. It has to be the LED because the one that was working on that side is working on this side now. So I'm gonna box it back up, take it back to Walmart, tell them one wasn't working right, maybe swap it out for another one, and see if both of those work in the new package. If not, then I'll contact the company and say there's something going on there. Maybe, I don't know. But hopefully, I'm hoping that maybe another one will actually work. Maybe it's just manufacturer defect or something, I don't know. Anyway. Alright, so I have some regular incandescents back in there, and I've used some dielectric bulb grease on the contacts just to make sure that they stay good and uncorroded. And going back to this yellow Play-Doh like stuff, the only thing that I can think of that it could be would be like a heat sink or something to help dissipate the heat inside there, which if that's the case, then oops, but it'll be fine, especially once I get the LEDs figured out and I put LEDs in there. They're not going to get nearly as hot, so it's not going to be as they're not going to be as much of an issue. So, but that's the only thing I can think of. Alright, so again, I'm going to leave these empty for now because those are just other running lights. I already checked these. Both of them work. They stay off when the running lights are off. Hit the brakes, they both come on. Turn the running lights on, they come on dim. Hit the brakes, they come on brighter. So they're good. Turn signal should still be good because they were working before I started doing all this. So let me get everything back together, and then I'll check and make sure everything is working correctly, and we'll be done with this for now. Alright, so I got everything back together and fastened back together, and I checked it and everything works, the brake lights, the running lights. So I'm gonna call it for today for this video, and I don't know if I'll record another one a little bit later or not, but thank you for joining me. I don't consider this a loss because we did learn something, and I'm pretty sure it's the light bulbs themselves. That one that just wasn't working the way it should. So it's not a loss, but it's not a win either. But well, I guess it is a win because we did learn something, and it wasn't entirely my fault. So anyway, but again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting, if you would, please. And I look forward to bringing you another video later. And again, just, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for any advice or input that you might have. All right, I'll see you later.